Hi, everyone. So today I want to talk about authenticity and the struggle that a lot of us have with being authentic and showing up as we truly are. It's a struggle I have had in my own life, and I've learned some aspects of it that support me in moving forward in authenticity. So let's dive in. Firstly, I want to talk about inauthenticity and authenticity and describe some characteristics of them. So, when we think about inauthenticity, it can often show up as unnaturalness. Um, and when I think about this, I want to think about it in terms of how you are with yourself. You recognize that there's something not quite of who you are as you show up, and you don't feel natural. The second quality is disharmony. You feel disharmony in how you interact with others. Your relationships are can be full of tension, and you don't always feel supported by the other person, or you don't feel really that you are supporting the other person as well. And then the third characteristic is that you can show up as being forcing or pushy in what you want to achieve. You feel the need to push at something because you don't trust that you will gain the support um, that you require. And it's actually necessary to control to get the outcome that you want. In contrast, authenticity um, is characterized by naturalness, a sense of being in the right place at the right time, feeling comfortable in your own skin. Also, by harmony, you have harmonious relationships. You get on well with the people around you. When you move forward in an activity, you gain support and you support others in what they do. You don't get into arguments or fights. You don't feel that there is disagreement in what you do. And then the third characteristic is flow. So, this sense of flowing through life, this sense of being on the wave of activity in your life and moving forward effortlessly and extremely naturally in the activity and the various things that you want to pursue and do in life. Now, what actually leads to inauthenticity? I've explored this within my own life, and as I've come to understand it better, I've recognized that the real root of inauthenticity is self rejection in consciousness. At the heart of not being able to be authentic is this rejection of the self. And due to that self rejection, there is an unwillingness to step into the world as the person that you truly are, as your authentic I am. You might think it's because you think other people are going to reject you. You might think the root is fear. And I'm not saying these things aren't part of inauthenticity, but I think at its root, it is a rejection of the self within your consciousness. Any disharmony and fear of others is really a projection in consciousness of your own rejection. You believe someone will reject you, in effect, because you've already rejected yourself. So keep this in mind. Think about how you may have self rejection within you and how that might impact you and support inauthenticity in your life. So now that we have this understanding of self rejection as being at the root of inauthenticity, I want to explore some ways, some steps that we can take to support in releasing this self rejection, to removing our identity with the belief that we are worthy of rejection. Okay. I'm not saying I've got this all sorted. I'm still on a path of finding my true authenticity. Certainly, my YouTube videos have been part of that journey, something that's been important for me to allow myself to show up and to grow in authenticity and to release the self rejection at the same time. So, I'll give you 3 steps that I have found helpful in moving forward and in releasing this self rejection. So, firstly, there is a need to commit to actually letting self rejection go. Make a strong commitment that this is something you want to do. I know this might seem obvious. Of course, you want to let it go, but potentially subconsciously, you're holding on to it. And in reality, if there's self rejection in your life, we have actually chosen it. Um, and the reason we choose it is really as a form of protection. I'll reject myself first, um, and then I'll be able to deal with rejection from others. I'll put a wall around myself. I'll keep myself safe. Um, that's the reality of my world. Um, and I'll control it to be comfortable within it. Okay. So, firstly, commit to letting go. There is power in commitment. The second step that I find useful is to broaden your view in life from self. Often, due to the things that happen to us in our lives, we revert back into a narrow view of the world. We look only at ourselves, and predominantly it is for protection. But any moment that you find yourself focusing on yourself, if you are able to lift that focus, think about the people around you, think about the people in the country or the people in the world, the different perspective that you take allows you to lift yourself out of that view of self, and it supports letting go of the self rejection. Okay. So then the third simple step, well, maybe not simple, but the third step that I want to encourage you in is forming the habit of releasing rejection and choosing acceptance of self as it arises in the moment. So if you find self talk during the day in the midst of an activity that is saying, it's not, you're not good enough, um, I won't succeed, um, things don't work out for me, simply catch that moment, lift your view from yourself, as per the second step I just mentioned, and choose to find some truth beyond the statement of rejection that you have identified with. As simple as, I accept myself now. I love and accept myself no matter what I do or say. Find power in choosing acceptance in the moment. Okay, so those are the 3 steps that I want to encourage you with. You may think of some others, but the commitment itself will be supportive in your consciousness of releasing the self rejection and moving on. So, the payoff that we are looking for is to be authentic. And in so doing, you will discover the authentic I am. The you that has released rejection fully. And when you step out into the world, when you speak, act, and interact, it'll be true speech, true acts, true interactions with others. There will be a naturalness, a harmony in relationships, and a flow in your activity. And that will be enjoyable. The flow, the naturalness, the authenticity is is filled with love. So the energy within you changes as well. Okay. And this is possible. I think our whole society has learned very well how to be inauthentic and unnatural, when in reality, we long just to return to the childlike authenticity that is truly within and is truly who we are. Okay, so I leave you with that. I want to encourage you that you can do this. Take the steps that I mentioned of releasing self rejection. Start with the desire and move to that firm commitment. You can rediscover the authentic you within. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I just would want to remind you to like, subscribe, and share if you feel inclined to do so. And thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.